do, 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 do. All right, hello there, audit and fraud friends and family. Listen, how sure are you that you actually own the things that you own? I mean, think about this. You have a receipt for your car, you got a title for your house or the deed to your house, and you keep them in a safe or a drawer. And so you feel secure. But here's the thing, in the digital age, ownership isn't like a physical reality anymore. Just one line of code, and the thing that you thought you owned could be taken away from you. So, my question for you today, here's my question for today. When's the last time you checked to see if your name was still on the things that you think you own? All right, so think about that, because today's story, and I know I say this every week, but man, today's story is crazy. Are you ready? Let's go.
Welcome to the Friday Fraudster podcast. Join them as they discuss sad, funny, and sometimes disturbing fraud stories. Be sure to catch past episodes on your favorite podcasting platform or go to www.fridayfraudster.com.
All right, so you heard the question that I asked. How sure are you that you actually own the things that you think you own? And Heather is here. Hey, Heather from Jacksonville, Florida. All right, so today we're going to bring Thomas up. Hello from Colorado. Wait, who's in Colorado? It just says LinkedIn user. Okay, great. So, Thomas, how sure are you that you actually own the things that you think you own?
I own what my wife allows me to own, but if anybody wants my teenagers, they can have them.
You know what? But here's the thing, too. So think about this. Now, some of us are a little seasoned, well seasoned, and we remember owning cassette tapes and CDs. So, like when your favorite artist came out with new music, it would always be on a Tuesday. And so you would go to this store called Music Land or Sam Goody or some other store, and you would buy the actual CD. And
Or
you
tape.
knew you owned the CD, right?
Yep. Yep. And if you weren't sure if you wanted to get the entire album, you'd get the single that came out on the cassette, and that had like 5 different versions of that same single.
Right. Exactly. Or sometimes the single had a different song on the B side, because there are a lot of songs that became hits from the B side, right?
Oh,
Like I remember one of my favorite B side songs is Housequake by Prince. It wasn't on any of his albums initially. It was just on the B side of one of his. But anyway, back to the point. How many of you are very sure that you own the things that you think you own? That's it. Thank you, Heather. There was a record store called Turtles at one point. Yeah.
all right. I know Sam Goody. I didn't know Turtles.
Yeah. Turtles was interesting because what happened with Turtles is it was obviously yellow and green like a turtle. And when you would buy CDs from there, you would get these coupon stickers. And if you got enough stickers, you could earn a free CD. Man,
Nice.
Heather came through in a clutch. I forgot about Turtles. Oh, wow. So, but yeah. And now we don't really own our music now, do we? We just kind of rent it.
I don't know now. Record stores are coming back. Like both of my kids have record players in their rooms, and my son has been collecting records. So I don't know. I think we're owning more and more than we used to. Now, movies, on the other hand, is another story. I need to start buying more DVDs and physical copies. The problem is I don't have a DVD player anymore, a Blu-ray player to be able to watch them on.
Well, and here's the danger. So I several years ago, I purchased a couple of documentaries on Amazon, and it's sitting in the Amazon video store or Prime Video. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yep.
And then I remember going to look at one several years later, and it was gone. And here's what I discovered. The creators of this one documentary had done something to make Amazon mad. And so they pulled his stuff from the catalog. Now,
Yep.
mind you, I had paid for it. So how do you get to just remove stuff that I own?
Well, why don't we take it a little bit further? You know, over history, there have been various books that have been completely banned or burned. And all you have to do is just hit delete in a database, and you no longer have those books.
Exactly. Now, I think this might be Carol. I'm not sure. It just says LinkedIn user. I don't know who this is, and I don't have my phone with me to cheat today, but whoever this person is, they know that they own their home at least because they get the junk mail loans as the owner of their home, right? Yeah. That makes sense. Speaking of homes, we are taught that a house is a fixed asset, right? So it feels like a safe place for your money because, well, it's not really going anywhere. You can't just put like a 4-bedroom house in your back pocket and walk away with it.
Not yet.
You know, yeah.
Give Elon Musk, the idea, and we'll see what he does with it.
Right. Here's what's crazy though. We live in a world nowadays where you don't necessarily need a moving truck to steal a home. You just need a printer, a fake notary stamp, and a complete lack of a soul, right? so there's a case from Central Florida that really proves that the system we trust to protect our homes is, well, more like just having a screen door to protect your home in a hurricane. Because if you think about it, what we're going to talk about is not a high-tech hack. It's just a paperwork heist. That's really all it is. So let's get into it. Oh, Heather said it's Carol. Okay, that's what Carol said. Yes, it's Carol. Okay.
Chad's helping everybody out here. I love it.
Right. Well, you all know I need as much help as I can get because I'm just okay. So listen. Imagine you're a family in Lakeland, Florida, about 2 hours from you, Heather, right? And you've inherited a piece of land from your grandfather, and that's your little nest egg. And you don't visit it every day, but you do pay the taxes on it. And you have plans to build a house on it one day. And then one day you just decide to drive by it. But you see something on your land that looks quite interesting. It's a for sale sign in the dirt. And it's not your phone number on the sign. And when you call the agent tells you that the house was sold about 3 weeks ago and you are the owner of this home. And now you realize that you don't own this home. You're just a stranger standing on property that somebody else owns. Imagine that happening to you.
I would have so many questions. I'd be so confused. I would be mad. I would also wonder how much money is it selling for and can I get a piece of it?
I'm thinking if that happened to me, somebody better go get some bail money.
Yeah, that'd be so frustrating. This article, whenever you send me this article, it's one of those like you read, you're like, oh yep, I've seen that before, and then you're like, oh wait, it keeps going. You know, the wait, there's more stuff. Is just there's so much of it on this one. It's insane.
Yeah. I'm telling you. Now, to really understand what I'm talking about here, we got to talk about title theft. If you really think about it, title theft is like the ultimate in gaslighting, because in most countries, especially the US, it really does operate on kind of like the honor system when it comes to deeds. So the deed is the document that says you have an ownership interest in this property or this home. But if you walk into almost any county clerk's office with a piece of paper called a quit claim deed, meaning you quit having a claim in this property, and if it says that person A gives the property to person B and it has a notary signature on it, the clerk in that county's office is most likely going to file it. They're not going to call the owner to check because a notary just signed off on this thing. They don't verify ID, they just file it. Now, isn't that crazy?
Nowadays with how technology has been changing, I'm a little surprised we still have notaries just in general. There are so many other ways to do it that would be more secure than a person putting a physical stamp on something, right? It's a little dumbfounding. I've got a community that's right outside of my area that they can't officially stop you, but the county clerk's office strongly advises against buying any property in that area because there's been so many unofficial sales and donations and handoffs between family members and such that they can't guarantee that the title or the information they have in the county is up to date. So you might go in and purchase this land and not actually have legal claim to the title. So yeah, it's scary.
Wow. And here's what's real crazy. So there are companies out there now that will protect you from having your title transferred. You pay them. It's almost like LifeLock is on your credit. You pay them a monthly fee, and anytime they see a change in the title or the deed to your home, they email you. I don't know how they have it set up, but it seems more efficient than most of the county systems if they can give you some sort of an early warning, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you would think. It's scary how easy it is to do just, like you said, just kind of a paperwork fraud.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Heather is saying that's why I still keep paper docs on certain items. Yeah. And here's the thing, too. Here's the thing that most people don't know. So let's say you are buying a home and you have the deed in your name, and someone is actually able to transfer the title via a quitclaim deed. That only removes your ownership interest in the property, but it does not remove your financial interest tied to that loan. So you're still forced to pay for a property that has been stolen from you that is no longer in your name.
So does that include, what about property taxes? Because like here in Texas, we have, property taxes instead of income tax. So I wonder, how does that impact you on property tax side too?
Well, the property taxes are now the responsibility of the new landowner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just paying on a loan on a loan for nothing.
Correct. So I had and here's where it gets interesting. So I had a situation one time where I needed to sign a quitclaim deed, and I was still on a loan though.
Mhm.
And I had lawyers calling me trying to force me, and I was like, no, this deed gets signed once the home is refinanced out of my name.
Yeah.
And so I had to hire a team of lawyers to just send a few letters saying just that. And of course, I won that argument. But the fact that you have to have that argument is really stupid to begin with. Now, Heather says that she uses subscriptions at propertyfraudalert.com. Oh, that's pretty cool. Is it free, Heather? And she said that they send her alerts. Oh, now if I had never heard of this one. This is good. Thank you, Heather, because I need to look into that for someone that I know today. That's propertyfraudalert.com. Okay. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually going to the website right now to check it out.
Yeah, man, you gotta check that out, because you don't want your home
Yeah.
you don't want your home to be taken from under you.
And it's scary, like the details in this case here. It's scary how it was done, how easy it was, like so many details here. So yeah, it's great to have this.
Well, and the crazy thing, Thomas, is I didn't send you. I found the court documents. I didn't send you the court documents, and one reason I didn't send it is because I think they made a mistake and didn't redact certain things. They left the woman's social security number on the court documents. Anyway,
Wow.
yeah, man. Whole nother story altogether, though.
On one hand, I'm like, wow, that's wrong. On the other hand, I'm like, is it though?
but let's talk about this case and this individual and this craziness. Okay, so there's a sworn complaint dated March the 19th of this year in Flagler County, which is down there in Florida.
Of course, it's Florida.
Oh, of course it is, right? So, a woman named Cheryl Annette Jefferson is formally being charged with obtaining property for $50,000 or more by swindle, and that's a first-degree felony. There are a few victims. One victim is a woman named Denise Ruiz, and what happened with her is she found out that her Palm Coast lot was sold when she attempted to pay her property taxes. So what ended up happening is the alleged criminal, she used a fraudulent New Jersey license with her picture on it to claim to be the other woman, and that's how she facilitated the sale of the property.
So, like, that's what gets me right there. The fact that she was using her real picture, her real ID, but I guess she had to, if people are at least looking at it and confirming some details. But yeah, that was kind of funny when she did that. But
yeah. Now, here's where this one gets even more interesting. I'm trying to figure out a way to bring this part up, and as soon as I say it, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. There's a celebrity tie-in here. So this was just one of the homes that she stole. There's another one, and we might get to that one, but the celebrity tie-in is really, really, really interesting. When they interviewed her or talked to her or arrested her or interrogated her, whatever language you want to use, she told detectives that she met a man at a concert 5 years ago whom she believed to be Brian Kelly of the band Florida Georgia Line. I don't know if you guys remember Florida Georgia Line. It's a very good band, right? And she claimed that she was moving money to help him build a recording studio in Nashville.
That reminds me of the dating, the dating fraud where it's like, what was it, like Brad Pitt was looking for, his soulmate. It's like, come on, are we really still falling for these kind of scams?
Oh, but it gets better. Even as recently as October 2025, she was found to be messaging someone who she believed to be country singer Chase Rice regarding moving some additional money.
At least they're using, I don't know. I'm like, I've heard of Florida Georgia Line. I have no idea who Chase Rice is. So at least it's kind of down, and maybe people in Florida might not know it as well.
Yeah. I think most of us might know who Florida Georgia Line is, right?
I was gonna say I'm just old, but you're older than me, so.
Yeah. What do you mean? I'm only 21. Again. So listen, her total financial impact was $421,000. So it was that home in Flagler County, and then there was another one in I forgot where it was, but this one was a case where the victim discovered that his house had so he had a lot as well. And so this was one thing that she was doing. She was buying lots that didn't have homes on them yet. For the most part.
That one cracked me up. Could you imagine driving down the road, driving to go check out, your property, and all of a sudden there's a house on it?
Yeah. So that's what happened in this next one, right? She sold this man's lot, and the man was going to visit the lot, and he looked and saw that there was a home already built on his lot. Now, how would that make you feel? Now, Heather's funny. Heather says, please don't tell me it's in Flagler Estates. I was looking for that, Heather. I don't think it was Flagler Estates, but I couldn't find exactly where.
I mean, it is in Flagler County, but
Yeah. But Flagler Estates is pretty nice. Okay, it's used to be pretty nice when I lived in Florida. I think it's still pretty nice though. Heather, you live in Flagler Estates. Is that why you saying that? You want to live in Flagler Estates. Oh my goodness.
So could you imagine being the person who bought this property that, I mean, it wasn't like, I assume they don't really have a legal claim on it, but they spent all of the time and effort, all of the stress of having a house built, and then you find out that you don't really own the property. I mean, that I would be so livid. And if I own the property, like legally was the owner, I hope I like the house.
Well, for this guy though, think about it. They took his land, so he no longer owned the land, and then there's a house built on it that somebody else owns. So imagine the legal battle here, because if I were him, I would want to get my land back or be compensated for it. But if you give him the land back, the house is already built on it. So somebody, whoever built the house on that land is out money too. And so who do you make whole and how do you make them whole? I think the easiest way is just have the people that bought the place to reimburse for the land, but now they've already done that. So why should they have to do it again?
And what if you're sitting on that land as an investment? I mean, I've got extended family who years ago, they bought land out in South Carolina, and their family estate was on it. They bought the land, never did anything with it, and it ended up being sold for a very large amount of money because the school district wanted it for a school, and they were able to sell it for quite a bit. But could you imagine if someone was reaching out, hey, we want to buy this land, and then you find out somebody has a house on it? Like, there's no make whole at that point.
Yeah, it's true. And that's the part that makes it more difficult, because just reimbursing them the purchase price that they paid for it, to your point, may not work because that land may have appreciated.
Yep.
So Heather's saying no, but they own land in Flagler Estates. Okay, that's a good place to own some land, Heather. Does the bank get charged with fraud for issuing the loan? You know, here's the thing. I imagine you would only be able to charge the bank if they were complicit in it. And to that extent, the bank was defrauded too. So the bank is a victim.
Well, complicit or negligent. But Heather, you might want to go see if you have a house on that land right now.
Yeah, now that's a good distinction. Complicit or negligent. True. Yeah.
I wonder if it was Wells Fargo that did the loan.
Oh my God. You know what? That interesting. But here's the deal now. Here's where this gets even more interesting though. So, okay. When the detectives were trying to track down the funds, the initial deposit she made from the first one, she wired the proceeds into a Regions bank account that she had opened in 2022. So it wasn't Wells Fargo. Then she started doing a bunch of internal transfers, and then she wrote a bunch of checks to herself to move money over into her Bank of America account. And then here's everyone's favorite subject. At some point, she said, I got to buy crypto because I got to try and hide this money. So she moved large sums of money to Coinbase and to the Gemini crypto platform. Now, if you thought that was crazy, we got crypto in it. So think about this. We've got Regions Bank. We've got Bank of America. We've got crypto. this final destination for some of the money is where people are going to be like, oh, should have seen this
Well,
one coming.
we had all of that. We also had fake celebrity, involvement,
Yep.
right? So yeah, hit them with this last one because this is just this is gold.
So now you see why I actually picked this story, right?
Yep.
All right. So here we go. Here we go with the last one. The final destination for much of the cash. Detectives traced a bunch of digital assets to 2 accounts owned by men in Nigeria.
And I'm sure they were princes in Nigeria too.
So here's what I started thinking though. Think about this. Did she get scammed out of the money that she scammed people out of? And the reason I started thinking about this is you had the celebrity angle where she somehow thought she was working on behalf of some country singing celebrities. And now the money ended up in Nigeria. So did she get scammed in the end?
It makes you wonder since she only made 421,000. I mean, I say only. I mean, that's not a lot of money when you're talking about buying and selling properties and houses and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if she got scammed or not because she did admit to investigators that she knowingly received the money and she transferred it to hide its origin.
Yeah, I almost wonder if the Nigerians actually exist.
That's a good thought, but we do know the money went to Nigeria, but so that means you're thinking that maybe she had a connection in Nigeria.
I'm wondering if she has a fake connection in Nigeria.
Okay, yeah, that's.
I mean, it could be legit, but just the way it's all sounding, I don't know, might not be.
Yeah, that's true. Now,
I mean, could that be her legal defense? She was scammed by these Nigerians. She didn't know what she was doing.
oh, that's very true. Now, since we're going down this road, I think she was trying to use some of her friends in order to remove the paper trail. So there's one young lady named in the complaint, Connie Fitzgerald, and the Cheryl wired money or wrote checks, to Connie. Sorry, I'll get this straight in just one moment. And Connie transferred the money into a Navy Federal Credit Union account. And then from there, it went to Coinbase for crypto. So I think it sounds like she was using friends, family, maybe brief acquaintances, people who only knew her a little bit, to move the money for her, unbeknownst to them, I think, from what I've read so far. But they may have known, maybe she paid them a little bit.
Maybe, but just with all the other fake paperwork she was doing, that's definitely something she could have done is, just not inform them, scam them too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So maybe she scammed them too, or maybe she paid them a little bit, or maybe they just did the favor for free as a friend. The one thing I did do is for the woman named Connie, I tried to see if there were any separate records, indictments, arrests, etc. on her. I didn't see any. So she may be another victim,
Yep. Seems like a lot more details are going to be coming out about this as it kind of progresses along.
Oh, for sure. Because I think, so this is just the complaint right now. I think before I speak too soon, I think she's scheduled to be arraigned next month. Or I might be thinking about another case. So let me just back up on that one. I'll take that back
See,
now.
just looking at the end of the article that you sent me, it says taken into custody, had a warrant for organized scheme to defraud over 50,000, and then was released from the Walton County Jail on $100,000 bond. So that's just as far as they've gone so far.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so this makes sense. There's a little bit more to go. Now, Mark was saying the Wells Fargo joke. Ouch.
Sorry, Mark.
Oh, wait, I missed something. Heather was saying she's gonna call her neighbor. I think I missed the context on that one, but you better call your neighbor to make sure your land is still there in Flagler County, Heather. That's
Yep, I think that's what she was talking about.
probably so. Because, like I said, it's a nice area.
Yeah.
It's a nice and growing area. Good people there, and it's just a shame of what's happening. I think it's real crazy that we used to have a lot of physical assets. Now we don't anymore. But even the physical assets that we do have can be taken away from us with the click of a mouse. Because we're talking real estate here, but the same thing can happen to our cars. And for anyone who owns a boat, I mean, it could happen to your boat.
As much as I hate to say this, our businesses.
Ooh, now I never thought about that, but that's definitely something that could happen, right? Because you have to register your business in a state, and the state systems, no matter which state, are kind of antiquated.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
I never thought about that one.
I mean, imagine if you create like an outstanding internal audit software and investors come in and want to pay a whole bunch of money for it. And then someone steps in and says, actually, I own that. You sold it to me, 3 years ago for $50.
Now, speaking of world-class internal audit software, I think we need to introduce you to IAStream. That is the audit management platform that Thomas and I are backing, that we're developing, that we have developed and
backing.
I know, right? So if you would like a demo of a platform that, to me, is what audit should be, call us up, and also there's more information coming real soon. You'll start to see more social media posts and things like that. But here's what I will say. The pricing right now is special introductory rate. So I would call us, schedule a demo, talk to us about it today.
And if you've gotten a demo in the past, you haven't seen IAStream.
No.
It has been completely revamped, and yeah, it's you're going to be blown away by the improvements we've made.
And here's what I will say without giving away too much. Some people use platforms now where they do their work papers outside of the platform and then just essentially use this high-priced platform as work paper retention. In IAStream, you do all your work inside the module, inside the system, all of your work. But on top of that, there's some automated testing routines as well. Things that you would normally do manually, like three-way match, looking at journal entries that occurred on the weekends and things like that. It's done automatically, as I like to say, through the system. And then some of you are familiar with Audit Leverage, the AI platform that I built. Well, it's integrated into it, not as add-on modules, but as standard features within the system. So here's what I say it does. If you're a chief audit executive, it helps you to look smarter in front of your audit committee because of, the information that it gives you. If you are an audit manager or a senior auditor, it helps you save time on some of those routine, mundane, and boring tasks that you used to do. I'm sorry, you're still doing them now because you haven't purchased IAStream from us. So those tasks that you're doing now, it reduces the time that you spend on those so that you can spend more time relationship building, doing critical thinking, doing research, things like that. So, yeah. Now, Heather is saying people love to scam and take digital identities could be either of you. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's scary.
Here's the thing though. No one wants my identity, so I'm pretty safe. I'm pretty you know. I mean, raise your hand if you want to be me. I mean, I think I'm the only one. So I'm pretty safe. Yeah. I say that tongue in cheek. Nobody's safe.
Yeah, someone's gonna come and do something now.
Right. Yeah. Nobody's safe. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I think that's all for this one. I don't think we missed anything. I just know that this one was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. This was pretty intense. There's so many different twists. All of the little check marks of Nigerians and crypto, and yeah, it had a little bit of everything for this one.
Well, and as Carol says, sometimes this one should be on the follow-up list.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so much that could be involved with this. I still wonder if the Nigerians are real or not.
Yeah. Well, and if they're not, then what was her plan? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
If they aren't real, then she set it up to send the money there so she could get it later. And it's weird because, and here's the thing, if she set it up, then it's almost like she's another Jessie Smollett.
True.
Yep. Just making up stuff and then blaming Nigerians for it, which is not fair.
Nope. Oh, yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this case. Hopefully, and it sounds like they are, but hopefully the detectives and all, they're all working together and they build a really solid case and cut through the garbage and get the truth out of all of this.
Yeah, I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got for this week. So, thank you all for joining us this week. And I guess we'll see you next week.
Have a great weekend.